This video is a short tutorial I made showing how to model floor framing using just beams or structural framing. Okay, so in this video we're going to go through making up some timber floor framing using the beam tool or the structural framing tool in Revit speak. In this case here I've just got what is in essence a plywood flooring, and I've made up a structural plan to aid me. So on one side of this is going to be 140 by 45 joists, and one side is going to be 190 joists. So I'm going to go to my beam tool. I'm then going to go and choose the correct beam family, and then whatever size that I want. I'm going to then pay attention to some of the properties here. It's attached to reference level 0. I'm going to go Y justification is left. So I'm going to first draw some boundary joists in a clockwise direction. So that left is the one I want to use. I'm then going to have the Z justification of the beam as the top of the beam, and that element is going to be set down minus 20 millimeters. So in essence what that means is the beams are going to be modeled from the top. It's going to be minus 20 millimeters from level 0. So I'm going to just model up some boundary joists in a clockwise direction. I'm then going to trim them up, and then I'm going to move them to a location, and then I'm going to move the other end. Delete the other line, and then I'm going to do exactly the same for the lower ones. And then I'm going to just draw it again in a clockwise direction, and then I'm going to move it, and then move/stretch this way. Now I'm seeing the joists through the flooring. That's why they're coming up as a hidden dashed line, because I've got my hidden lines by discipline. So what I'm going to do is end up hiding my plywood flooring, so I'm just seeing my joists. Now when we make these up, there's some end conditions that look a bit weird. So I'm first going to try and trim them to make them work. No. And if they don't, I can then just grab double arrows and then make them, stretch them to fit. Trim them. If they don't work, grab double arrows and then stretch them down to suit. So those are my boundary joists. So when I look underneath my floor, I've got my plywood, and I've got what's the start of my timber flooring. Now I'm just going to grab one of them. I'm going to copy it in whatever centers that I've got, and sometimes it works out pretty nicely, other times it doesn't. If it doesn't, we can just use the trim tool to trim the joist up, and then we can then grab it and either copy it or array it along to suit. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to then grab them. I'm going to mirror them over, and while they're still selected, I'm going to then go and change them to the size that I want. Now if I want to make some of these bigger, I can select them all, and then I can then upsize them if need be. Now pay attention to the boundary joists. The outside edge is going to stay in the same position, and they're going to grow inside. Now sometimes, even with the best intentions, some conditions like this happen. Again, all we've got to go through and trim them up again. That's looking pretty good. Now the material's a bit wrong here, so I'm going to select one of the beams. I'm going to isolate the category. I'm going to select them, and I'm going to put the correct structural material. In this case, structure wood framing. Then they've got the right color. That's looking pretty good in 3D. Now, as far as documenting what these are in plan, I'm going to use a multi-category tag. I've got a couple of different different family types here. I'm going to use one called type name. And then I'm just going to put a dimension which will have whatever spacings these are at. Lots of different ways of notating that up. I just find that's the easiest way. Now the nice thing in using these tags is if we select some of the elements and then we change them, the tag automatically gets updated, and all the tag is pulling is the type name from the family. That's it. Thanks for watching, and please leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you later.